What's up, Bulldogs? All right, I want to read you a message I got on Instagram that I haven't replied to because I think it echoes what a lot of guys feel right now, myself included at times, right? He says here, I feel like I have nothing to live for. Obviously, I still don't want to go to jail, but I don't know. I'm no good. I'm a mess. I'm a waste of failure. Nobody values me. I'm obnoxious, annoying, awkward, stupid, socially underdeveloped. All this anxiety and ADHD as well as anger, and now I feel deeply depressed. Men are supposed to shine and be radiant light, glow, and are full of life. Well, I feel dark, hollow, empty, and void. So, this is something I can relate to. in a way, I feel like this right now as well, right? Because I'm not on my purpose right now. I am not on my mission right now. I am not doing the things in life that I know I should be doing, all right? And this happens from time to time. It's been, if you've seen, I don't know if I actually published the video that I was going to publish, but if you've seen some of my videos and me talking lately, for the last few years, I've kind of felt like this. There's been times where I've been back on my purpose and mission and whatnot, but I've kind of slipped from that, and I've been trying to get back to that. But I feel that way, like what he described, and I think that it's not just me, right? But I think a lot of guys can relate to that. I think a lot of guys feel that. And so I want to talk a little bit about this and kind of what the solution to this is and how, how to fix these things. And I guess I don't really need to pull it up again. But here's the thing, okay? Let me tell you, first of all, why you feel this way, right? Which I can tell you exactly because I know why I feel this way, because I'm fairly introspective. I spend a lot of time coaching guys and introspecting in myself and understanding what is going on. And it's frustrating when you understand what's going on, but you can't fix it or you don't fix it, which can be the case as well. But let me tell you what's going on when you're feeling these thoughts. The biggest thing is, like I said, is it's not being connected to a purpose, not to a mission in life. Like, as a man, you must have a mission. You must have something that you are going after. And that is such an important thing, right? For me, where I'm at, I have standards. I have places, certain things that I know I should be doing in order to feel good about myself. And I've tried at times to stop doing those things and take a break and relax. But it's not what I'm built for, and it's not what you're built for. And society sort of programs us to do those things, right? We have pornography, we have social media, we have video games, we have gluttonous food, and all of these sort of things that make us soft, right? If we go back to thinking like Stoics, right? Remember, Stoics used to practice going without food and wearing the shanty of clothes and basically acting like a bum for a week at a time and sleeping on the ground in order to help them to not become soft and to stay on their purpose and to not be distracted by all these distractions in the world. And that, again, this is the crazy thing about that. Think about what the world was like then, okay? There wasn't social media, there wasn't the internet, there wasn't all of this stuff to look at and see and do and distractions and great food to eat. There was some of those things, but even those little luxuries in the world, they destroyed men. And that was actually what caused the Roman Empire to fall, was too luxurious of too much luxury, right? And it resulted in weakness. But if you compare what society was like then, and that's what they had to do to stay grounded, compared to what society is like today, it's no wonder why you feel that way. It's no wonder why I feel that way. It's no wonder why so many of us feel this way. Right? Especially as a man today, as a man, you can feel lost in this world, right? Society, women looks down on you. We have this sort of woke culture that is really crapping on men, and it's unfortunate. But I don't have the victim mindset. I'm not here to whine and cry about this. I'm here to do something about this and to tell you what you can do about this and to tell me what I can do about this. Again, I talk about this sometimes, and there's a reason why I'm doing the daily videos again, is because you, sir, okay, right there on the other end of the lens are my therapist, right? Or rather, this camera that is recording my voice and my image is my therapist. And so when I'm answering this question for you, I'm answering this question for me, and I'm saying, well, what shall I do, John? Like, how do I solve this problem for myself? And I've got a couple of steps here. And let's see if these steps resonate with you and if they make sense. So first of all, I think you need to understand that it is not intrinsically you. Okay? And really, this really fundamental truth, which is that no matter what happens, okay, you cannot become better, more valuable than you are. As a human being, right? As a life form, as a human on this planet, as a soul, as a spirit, however you want to visualize it, part of the consciousness, as a fractal of the consciousness, a drop in the ocean of consciousness, you are already divine and perfect in you as you are, right? The real you, the observer you, okay? Now, you have this fleshly body, this earthly body. You have this mind, right? You have these other things that need to be perfected or need to be guided and grown. And that is what we can develop. But what I need you to understand before you begin any path of personal development is that your personal development does not change your value. You cannot increase or decrease your value. You as you are, as a piece of the consciousness, of the universal consciousness, of the God consciousness, however you want to think of these things, it doesn't matter what religion you are, it is already divine and perfect. And that cannot be changed. It's an unchangeable nature that you have, that you could in the Hindu we would, or the you could say that it's a Brahman, right? That idea, that concept. Okay, so the reason why this is fundamental, that you need to understand this first, is because you need to disconnect your value as a human being from your standards and your judgment of yourself and where you should be. Because when you disconnect those two things, then you can stop shitting on yourself and you can get out of the rut. But as long as your value is tied to these things, and it doesn't mean, again, that you have to feel good about yourself when you're not doing good. You should feel bad about yourself when you're not doing good, when you're not doing the things you're supposed to do. That is an important signal that tells you that you need to change. That's why depression exists. All right, I really don't find people that are depressed, that are on their purpose, that are living their mission in life and making advancements and kicking ass. It just doesn't happen. It's usually a misalignment that is why there is depression and you feel this way, okay? But the reason why this is so important as the first step is, like I said, is because you have to realize that you are valuable intrinsically, and that value cannot change, and nothing you can do can destroy that or increase that, because that is ultimately what we want, a feeling of worth, of being worth something, of being needed, of being good enough. You are good enough just as you are, okay? Now, that doesn't mean you should stay as you are, okay? I'm talking about the unchangeable part of you. Now next, what do we need to do? Well, the first thing that we need to do is we need a plan. We need a real solid plan. Okay? You need to organize your life, simplify things, cut things out, come up with a plan, a regimen. What is your routine, right? The problem is when you don't have a routine, when you don't have a system, when you don't have something guiding you, and you don't know where you're supposed to be, you're going to drift, right? There's a really good book by Napoleon Hill called Outwitting the Devil. Listen to the audio version of that book. He talks about being a drifter. I'm guilty of it right now. I'm drifting, okay? We've all drifted before. You don't want to be drifting. When you're drifting, you're going to do bad things. You're going to do wrong things. You're going to waste your time. You're going to waste other people's time. You're going to hurt people. You're going to cause harm to yourself and to others. So don't drift. And the way that you stop from drifting is by having an actual plan and having an actual routine. Okay? So you need to set yourself up with things that are going to make you feel good about yourself for accomplishing things, right? It doesn't have to be a huge amount of things. Get up in the morning, go for a run, go for your workout, right? Get on a diet that you know that you're supposed to be following, right? It doesn't even matter what it is. It just matters, what matters more than what you do. Because a lot of people do a lot of ineffective things. I'm not going to argue what is the best diet, what is the best way to work out, or any of those things. What matters, though, what makes you feel bad about yourself is when you're not living up to a standard that you have created. So what matters is that you write it down, you plan it out, that you follow what you said you're going to do. And when you deviate from that, that is when you feel like crap. So that's the first thing, is come up with a plan. The second thing, okay, besides the routine, right? And this routine, by the way, it should have a time you wake up, a time you go to bed. It doesn't have to be followed to the T as far as bedtime every time, right? But you need some kind of a system. What are you going to eat in general, right? What's the plan, all right? How are you going to work out? How are you going to work? What are you going to work on? And we'll get to that. That's kind of part 2. So part 2 is this. You need a mission, a specific mission. It doesn't have to be your whole life's purpose, but you need something that you are driving towards and you're putting your focus towards, right? When you are most happiest in life is when you are trying to get something, right? It's sometimes the best times that I know from coaching a lot of guys where they felt the most happy in life was before they got their first job, their first good job. A lot of software developers I coach, right? It's like when they were studying and they couldn't get the software development job and they're just trying to break into the industry, that's when they felt the best, right? Before, when they were poor, when they were making like 30, 40 grand a year instead of the 200 grand they're making now, and now they're miserable. They're making 200, 300 grand a year. Okay, why? Because they had something they were driving towards. They had a mission. Now they got all this money and they don't have a mission anymore. They're just kind of living life. You cannot ever be just living life. I have learned this lesson so many times. You cannot ever just be living life. There is no autopilot on life. It does not work that way. Okay? You have to have, it doesn't matter what the goal is. All right? If you don't have one right now, set a goal to run a marathon in the next 3 months. Okay? I'll give you one, a free one. All right? And that's what you're going to do for the next 3 months. You're going to focus towards that goal. Right? Pick something. Get on the stage, do a bodybuilding show. Start a YouTube channel and get 1,000 subscribers. Make a video a day for the next 60 days. I can pull out any number of these things. Buy your first rental property. Okay, if you want some help with some of these things, also contact me. Message me on Instagram or you send me an email, whatever. I'll help you. I've got some programs. I've got some coaching. I've got some stuff like that. I'm not here to sell this to you today. Okay? The third thing. What is the third thing? Well, if you've got a routine and you've got a mission, the third thing for you to do is to execute. You got to start doing the stuff whether you feel like it or not, because you're not going to feel like it. It's going to be so much easier to turn on the screen, right? To grab the phone, to look at the porn or whatever junk that you're looking at, to scroll social media, to watch TV, to play video games, to do all those things, to not execute on this because you don't feel like it right now. You're going to start tomorrow. The most famous words that I have ever uttered in my life is, I'll start the diet on Monday. I said it today. I ate some junk today. Look what I got in my trash can. Some junk, okay? Bought this junk. And when I buy junk, you know what I do? I binge buy the junk because I'm like, well, I'm going to be starting tomorrow. I'm going to be starting Monday. So I better get all of the crap that I can, right? How stupid is that, right? I still do it myself, but I know it at least. I can cognitively be aware of this and catch myself. But you got to execute now. You cannot say, on Monday, I'm going to start the diet. On Monday, I'm going to start the system, right? Yeah, maybe you have the system, but you got to start living like you're going to start doing it right now, right? Like right now. What is it that you're going to do? Right after I record this video, after I'm done with this, I'm going to want to go and watch some YouTube videos or bullshit, do some stupid shit. Instead, I got to figure out, what is my mission? What is the plan? I need a plan, right? I need to know what are the steps I'm going to take so that I can execute on those steps. And so I'll end it by saying this. Look, you're not a loser. You're not a failure. You're not, you have realistically, the odds are stacked against you. The way that society is built today, I mean, even, like I said, in their Roman days, they struggled with the distractions and the things that fed the dopamine, let's say. But today, it's impossible. It's impossible to not be a fuck up if you're not actively working towards not being one, if you're not. And so it doesn't matter what you did in the past. It doesn't matter how much time that you've wasted. It really does not matter. What matters is today, knowing these things. Like, what did I say? Like, I want you to really think about this after this video. I want you to set a routine. Come up with an actual plan. Come up with an actual mission, a short-term mission that you're going to do in the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, so that you have something to drive towards. And then whether you feel like it or not, start executing on that. And you're going to start to feel 100% better. I can guarantee, like, this is the thing about this, okay? And I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you, but I promise you this. I promise me this, okay? Listen, if you do this, okay, and you go down this path in 30 days, you will feel amazing. You won't be depressed. You won't feel like a piece of crap. You'll feel awesome. It's the absolute cure, right? This is a problem that you've had for how long? And this is the absolute cure. But I can tell you from personal experience, I can tell you from coaching guys, I can tell you from me fucking up, most likely you're not going to do it. Most likely you're not going to execute. Let's be honest here. So what are you going to do when you watch this video that's going to make it so that you do? Right? What note are you going to make right now? What calendar invite are you going to set for yourself to plan this out so that you don't just move on to the next video and forget about this? Are you going to rewatch this video? Are you going to remind yourself to do it? What is the next action step that you're going to take? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and put it on my calendar for tomorrow to come up with a solid plan, because I don't know if I'm going to have time today, but I'm going to set aside a block of time to come up with my exact plan to get back on track.